Now, here's my Uncle Chris and his thoughts from inside the great world of agriculture.
Hello and welcome to Pork Chops and Applesauce. I'm Christopher Knight. Now, you may be wondering why a guy who has grown up in Los Angeles his entire life and still lives here and has nothing to do with the agricultural industry save for being, an experienced eater of the agricultural product, why in the world I would be talking about the agricultural industry. Now, although best known as an actor and for my role as Peter Brady in the Brady Bunch, I have since enjoyed a long career in the high-tech industry. And though I'm currently a partner and serve as the face of the brand Christopher Knight Home, I have always been drawn to science and technology. Throughout my life, I've always been fascinated with how things work and understanding the science behind it. One of my passions is food and cooking.
Hey, only Mark.
Before I was first asked to play the role of veterinarian Dr. Copper in the film Ivy League Farmer, I didn't have much insight into the animal ag industry, nor did I give it much thought. But once we started shooting, and I got to meet the many people from the animal agricultural business serving on the movie as technical consultants, that old how and why in me got stimulated. With a heightened sense of curiosity, I began a quest for the truths in food production. Where does our food come from, and what's really in it? Since that time, I have been fortunate enough to attend the last two NutriBlend customer reward trips, and that's where I had the opportunity to seek even deeper knowledge from the many food industry insiders in attendance. I learned that perhaps what I've always assumed to be true about food production may not be correct. I was frankly surprised to learn that the animal agriculture only accounted for 3% of our CO2 emissions. What astonished me was that the rate at which the industry has continued to lower those emissions over time. The dairy industry has decreased the carbon footprint of a gallon of milk by 63% since 1944. One cow produces as much milk today as 5 cows did back in 1944. In addition to reducing CO2, it now takes 34% less land and 14% less water to produce 1 pound of beef than it did in 1977. This is according to a Washington State University study, a study that also found that since 1977, livestock production advances have resulted in 13% more beef with 13% fewer cows. I had no idea. So I've decided to study and learn for myself what is true and what is misunderstood or misbelieved. I have decided to share my discoveries in a series called Pork Chops and Applesauce. And I hope you'll enjoy learning along with me.